If the bearing of a point x from another point y is 212 degrees, what is the bearing of y from x? And of course, we know bearings are taken in the clockwise direction. So we have a point x taking its bearing from y as 112 degrees. If x took its bearing from y and as 212 degrees, so let's have this starting point of reference, which is y. So we're going to have our point y first. So this point is our y, and we're told that x took its bearing from this y through this bearing 212, and of course we know the first quadrant measures up to 90, the second quadrant is 180, while the third measures up to 270 degrees. So this third measures up to 270 degrees, and this is 212. 212 is more than 180, but it's less than 270. So the direction of the movement that proceeded to x is through the third quadrant. So we're going to have something like this. That is the direction of movement from y to the point that will have x. So this point is our point x, and of course bearings are measured in the clockwise direction starting from the north pole. So the bearing of this x from this y, which is this, is 212 degrees. So this is what we have, and something can be done there. Let's see carefully. Now we know that the second quadrant measures to the maximum of 180 degrees, and we have a continuation after the 180 degrees up to 212. So that means this smaller continuation we'll have after the second quadrant, when we take out 1/8 from this angle, that should give us that small part of the angle. And let's do that. For this, we're going to have 212 degrees minus 1/8. That should give us 32 degrees. So this small part is 32 degrees. So that is it. And this is done by knowing the measurements of the quadrants, the angles in the quadrants, knowing their boundaries and their maximum, the maximum angle each of the quadrants can measure up to. So that being done, this is a north pole and this is also a north pole. They are parallel lines, two parallel lines. So if two lines are parallel and there is a point or a line joining the two parallel lines, that means this 32 degrees here should alternate at this point. So this is also 32 degrees. Alternate angles are equal, of course. So when you have parallel lines, two parallel lines or more parallel lines, and a straight line joining the two parallel lines, there will always be an alternate angle. So this 32 that we'll be able to derive here alternates at this point. So if these 32 alternates here, I will now ask, what is the bearing of y from x? The bearing of this y from this point x. So from this point x, bearing we know is measured in the clockwise direction, starting from the north pole. So from this north pole to this point of the line that produced the y, the bearing of that y from this x is this 32 degrees that we have. So that means the bearing of y from x is 32 degrees. That is the answer. Thank you.